why we have command.
Oh, okay.
So everything that you're doing in Docusign ultimately will live forever in command. I just want to stress that importance. So KW partnered with Docusign after Dotloop was acquired by Zillow. Why is this important? Because KW is protecting your data. And with this integration with Docusign, KW is providing agents insight to make you more informed fiduciaries for your client. Basically, they're building this platform so that at one point or another, we'll be able to get all of the analytics from all of our data. That includes every contract. That's why we're putting them into command. And again, Docusign is only for e-signing. So, first thing we're going to do, how many of you have set up your Docusign account? Okay, most of you, but I'm going to cover really quickly on how to do this in the first place. So, to connect and create your Docusign account, first and foremost, you're going to log in to agent.kw.com. This is your command platform website. Once logged in, you'll see your name towards the top right hand corner, and you're going to select settings. Under those settings, you're going to see Docusign as an option and connect that account. When you're connecting it for the first time, make sure that you have an email address. They recommend that you use your kw.com email address, although you do not have to. They do recommend it though. So you're going to give your first name, last name, email address. It will send you a registration email. You will need to go into your email, complete that, and your account will be active. It's going to send you this email address, so you're just accepting the invite into Keller Williams Realty Docusign. The first time that you log into Docusign, it's going to have you activate your account and put in your password and a validation question and answer. And then click activate. You're next going to click through the customer agreement and accept the agreement. Now that the account has been created, you can go back into your command settings and authorize this account. And then the first time that you go back into it, you're going to log in with your your assigned email address and your assigned password. And last but not least, it's going to ask you for permission to connect command to Docusign. This is a quick step-by-step tutorial on how to create and start your Docusign account. I know that most of you already have, so we'll keep going. So, getting started with Docusign rooms. Today I'm going to show you how to create a Docusign room for an opportunity, how to access that room, and then how to navigate Docusign. So I'm going to do a live version for y'all. And if you want to follow along in your command, that would be great too. So I've logged in.
However, it is best to watch, because you can't click on your computer and watch at the same time at the rate. So it's best for people to watch the technology and then go back. Just saying. Okay. Otherwise, people are going to keep saying, "How'd you do that? How'd you click there? How'd you get there?" Because they're not watching. So I would highly recommend for all technical classes, watch and then just there you go.
Okay. So if you're going to watch me step through this, I'm going to go to opportunities, which is the hands on the left-hand side. This is where all of your transactions are going. This is where we're reviewing transactions start to finish. So for this example, I've already created a transaction because this is not the opportunities class. If you don't know how to create a transaction, please come to my next opportunities class. So I've created it in the listings. I actually created it in buyers. So this is my details section of my opportunity. I go to documents, and again, this is where all of your document storage is going to, right? So on the top right-hand corner, you'll see a start a transaction. When you click on this button, you have the ability to connect this transaction to either Docusign or .loop. Knowing this, well, let me stop there. .loop will be going away. The Market Center will not continue to pay for .loop moving forward.
Starting with.
We haven't turned off the date, but it'll be, I'm giving everybody a 90-day notice of when from that date. So I don't want you to panic. Nothing's going away, nothing's changing quite yet, but we are on the path to discontinuing .loop. If you would like to continue with .loop, that is fine. That is completely your option. You will still see this connection availability in your command system. However, at that time, you will be paying for .loop individually, whereas Docusign is free and provided through the Market Center. Matt?
I looked with Docusign, I was telling Chris, I had someone, because I think they have access to our things now, since I didn't know how to use this yet, I put together a listing document, and within 24 hours, that person was getting calls from other agents asking if they were interested in selling.
So that's what's going on with .loop. This is why, again, we're moving away from that platform. They're taking the data and using it and calling within 24 hours. So Docusign. So all you have to do is click on Docusign, and it will take you to the Docusign room. Okay, so as you can see, my room is empty as of right now. And we're going to go through all of the details of it. A room equals a loop. They are the exact same, but different terminology. So just think room instead of loop now. In the details section, top left, this is where you can enter the details of your transaction. Moving forward, as of today, I was just told that that Docusign rooms will pull any information you've entered into command automatically into your room. So you will not have to enter most of this information again, which is great. But for now, for the moment, entering in anything in here will auto-populate any documents you add to your room. And then on the
give us an example of that, of what you're talking about.
Sure.
So if we had a buyer that we put in there, when we open the room, it will link to that buyer?
That's correct. So all of the rooms link to that opportunity. You're linking an opportunity to a room.
Okay.
And every single different opportunity will have its own room.
Okay.
So you're saying the data is automatically populating now?
Yes, I'm talking about automatically populating data. So if you remember in .loop, there was a details button where you could go into the back end of .loop and enter all the details for your transaction. This is exactly the same.
Okay.
You can enter all of the details of your transaction and it will auto-populate that information into any forms.
Do you know if like a spouse is going to pull in?
Yes. Yeah.
If it's linked, if you've got them contacts linked to that opportunity, it should.
Yeah. Okay. So on the right-hand side, though, you'll notice that you can add seller 1, seller 2, listing agent 1. Again, all the different people and all of their information as you choose to. We're going to go to documents, and this is where you can physically add any GAR forms that you choose. By going to add, you now can add from your computer, Docusign forms, zip forms. If you have any forms in a Dropbox, Google Drive, or Box, you can then upload from there too. So this actually provides you more ways to add documents in. But we're going to use Docusign forms, and when first logging in, it's going to ask you for your NERDS ID. If you do not know your NERDS ID, you can go to Find and enter your last name, and it will populate your NERDS ID. You just copy, pull that in right here. It'll then allow you to find the association. We are listed at the bottom, Georgia Association of Realtors. And you click Save. It then validates you, and you have to sign this license agreement the first time that you're doing this. You won't have to do this every single time. So you go through and agree. You now have the ability to go to Forms Library or Forms Group. Right now there's nothing in Forms Group, so we're just doing a library, and we're looking for our Georgia Association of Realtors. The difference between library and group is the group are any documents that the Market Center puts in there. The library is anything that GAR, any of those GAR forms that are blank. That is the main difference between library and group. So again, we're sticking to library, we're going to the GAR forms, and to find a form, you just need to type in part of the name of the form. So, exclusive fire brokerage, and you can select as many as you want at one time. So I'm going to say add. And then you'll see that document now populated in my room. I can open the document from here and add any additional information into the form. Again, if you filled out that details section, all that information will pre-populate into these forms. I do want to say that there has been a couple of glitches in certain forms. There are known issues that we're correcting with Docusign. Should you come across one of these, just let me know. And when I say known glitches, I mean that the box, right, so like the sales price box, I'm not in that. So the date box, that's asking for a date field. It might say something different if it's asking for a different field. Does that make sense? I know that's a little complicated. If you run into any issues, just let me know and I can get with them. Otherwise, you fill out the form as necessary and save and close. Save and close is always super important in whatever you're working in. Please save your work. Otherwise,
Does
it
it
goes away.
automatically populate our information as well? Because I didn't see it there.
Again, if you fill it out in the details section, and eventually it will pull from command straight away because it'll know all of
So
it.
we'd have to fill out that every time.
For
It's
now.
not automatic.
For now.
Okay.
Okay, so from here, we'll go to the people section. People section works just like people section in .loop. You can add whoever you'd like to a room. And the difference being you can select what they see in that room. So it's the same concept. You're not sharing the entire room unless you choose that. You're not sharing anything in the room until you choose that. Let me put it differently. So automatically, you'll always see yourself and the admin in every single room. Okay, now we're going to jump into an envelope, creating and sending an envelope. Creating and sending an envelope is the way that you send out for e-signatures. It's just a formal way of saying send. It's an envelope. So you're going to create a new envelope. You're first going to name the envelope at the top. You can name it whatever you'd like. And then from here, you have the ability to add the documents to the envelope by a couple of different ways. So one of them being the room docs. So anything that you uploaded into that room, you can select room docs, and there's the doc. You can use a template. So right now, we haven't gotten there yet, but I promise you we will. I'm going to show you how to create your own templates. Or you can look at Shared with Me. Shared with Me is anything that the brokerage has uploaded into Docusign to be shared with everybody. This includes the Pay at Close form. This includes the W-9. This includes any form that you guys use on a consistent basis or may need access to at any given moment. So before you ask, look at the Shared with Me. It's probably going to be in there. Erin, you look confused.
I know. So, like the affiliated marketing disclosure.
It's going to be in there.
All right. So once it's in there, though, so you're saying I can just go straight, log into Docusign, go straight to envelopes, saying that I've already created a room for it. Go straight to envelopes, say sign this affiliated disclosure, go into templates that are shared with me, click it, and send it.
Correct.
And so it's going to have their name in there and all of that.
It's going to have an assigned role of who signs where.
Okay.
Docusign is a bit more intuitive than .loop ever was. A lot of the roles are already assigned to where who needs to sign where.
Great.
But you're going to double check it before it goes out. There is one last process, so
Oh, good. So you get
yes,
to see it.
you get to see it. So for now, I am going to go back and choose my room docs. Actually, let me go. So again, you can upload documents from other spaces as well. Should you have it in your email and just want to throw it in an envelope to send out, you have that ability. So I'm going to add that room doc. Add selected. And then next, I'm going to add my recipient. I have not put in Bianca's email address, so I will add her full name here.
Once you put it in, does it stay in the room or?
It does stay in the room once you put it in for the first time. I forgot her email address. You'll assign what they need to do with the document. So if they need to sign it, if they're just looking at it, if they're just receiving a copy, or if there's anything else. And then you're going to say, if you don't need to add anybody else, so I only have one buyer, but if you had two buyers, a husband and wife, you would add the second one, add recipient, again, email address, full name and email address. On the left-hand side, I do want you to notice the number boxes. The number boxes in Docusign, you now have the ability to send out to specific people in a different sequence. Thank you, John. So I will send to Bianca first and then her husband second. If I assign them both ones, it will send it to them at the same time. If you have a contract and you're sending it to your buyer to sign first, you can then attach the listing agent or whoever's on the other side, that other agent, as number 2. So it will automatically go to them after it's been signed, if that's something you choose to do. All right, so Bianca is my only one. And when you're ready, you'll go to next. Kathy?
Okay. A lot of these are similar features that were on .group. It's just a different format.
That's great.
So if let's say we have a termination, and we're within minutes, we could have the deadline to terminate. If we send it to our buyer to sign the termination and also include the seller gets to view it, when our buyer signs, they immediately have it to view it. Is that right or not?
Let me
To the
show-
cloud.
Yeah, let me show you.
I heard .loop did that, but I never verified that.
Yeah.
You should send it to both.
So in .loop you had a history, right? You could see the history of a document. In Docusign, you have a history, and you can see the history of a document.
So you could see if the seller viewed it.
You sure can.
And the seller will see it once the buyer signs. Is that correct? Or they see their signature?
If you assign them, but you probably don't have their email address if you're not working with them, right?
Right. But if it's a
So you
termination-
can assign them. You
I
can
don't know,
assign the
if it's-
listing
Well,
agent.
if it's the
Yes.
agent, you should have their email address.
Right,
The
but you're
listing
sending it to the agent, not the seller.
Right, not
Yeah.
the seller. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I said seller, I meant the agent.
All right. So I filled it out. This is that preview I was talking about, Erin, where you can double check everything. You'll notice that Bianca is up here in yellow. And I will,
Erin, if you have sequences in there as far as who signs when what, does it stay the same way throughout that entire room, or can you change it up like?
no. Okay, so
Or is it just per document?
when you're talking about an envelope, you're only sending one document
Okay.
at a time.
Okay.
So this envelope only pertains to this
Gotcha.
document. You can send multiple documents in an envelope, but whatever status or whatever sequence you put in, it only exists for that one
Just for
envelope.
that envelope. Okay.
Yeah. So in this one, I need to assign a signature box for Bianca because I did not do the pre-assigned roles. So everything is color coded in Docusign. Really nice. So Bianca is yellow, therefore her box is yellow. If I was to add a husband, let's say Jeff would be blue and his box would be blue. It doesn't matter how many people you add, they're all going to be different colors. So it's all color coded out. Actually, put it there. You can also add other fields straight from here, like a text field, a checkbox, a drop down, whatever you'd like to add for them to fill out. If everything looks great, it's time to send.
So like in the case of the seller property disclosure, that doesn't come out with all those check boxes already enabled? I gotta go fill that all in?
I'm going to help you out there. We're going to come back to it though. I'm going to come back to that one. Alright. So let me show you what it looks like to the client and how easy it really is to navigate a Docusign account or a Docusign document. Alright, so as you can see, it's populated as the client. This is the message, this is how it came in. I didn't write a specific message. I could have given more explanation. They're simply going to click on Review Document. They're going to say Continue, Start, click on Sign. It's automatically going to give them a style. They can draw or upload their own signature. they can say adopt and sign. Once they're finished, they'll click finish, and you will get an email notification straight away letting you know that the document has been signed. So, are there any questions about sending an envelope and signing a doc?
Just a quick one. I didn't see it, but does it automatically send the PDF of it in the email? Do you have to press a box like you do in Docusign?
Thanks for asking.
Or in Dotloop?
Yeah, so if I go back to my client box, it now gives me a completed copy as a PDF. It's automatic. Anything that I sign goes automatic.
Before it's signed?
Before it's signed, it will not give them a PDF.
Okay.
They're reviewing it when they're opening that link.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay.
Just give you the option to print instead of sign.
It does.
Up at the top.
Mm-hmm. It sure does. If you wanted to open it back again, other actions.
Okay. Right above in the center there.
Oh, sorry. Yes, right here. The print or download. Again, Kathy, back to your point, you can view history on any document.
That's important. So if you're not sure, if the seller says, or the agent says they didn't see it, you can view and see whether they saw it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have our ways.
You could do that on Dotloop too. People just didn't
Okay.
realize you could.
So until Bianca has signed that document, what it looks like in my room under the envelopes is that it's waiting for others as of this date. Now, if I was to refresh that, it's going to show me a completed envelope now. And if I were to go back to documents, that document that's completed has now created a new version of that completed document in my room. So every time you send out, it will send you back a different document that's showing completed, as well as the certification for that document.
I noticed that the colors are different. So the middle one is the one that you sent out because it's turned
Check
green
mark.
Right?
and with the check mark. Okay.
Yep.
So the other ones have not been signed or whatever.
The
Gotcha.
blue one, so I know you can't see it from here. The blue one says form. The green one says, I think, completed or done. And then the red one is a PDF of the certification of this document.
Oh, okay.
So every single time you send it, you're going to get an automatic certification.
So that could get really loaded up in there with lots of stuff.
It
right?
sure can. That's why it's not a storage system. Not a storage system. So to complete the whole cycle, because again, the documents don't live here. We are not looking at your room. We're looking at your command system. So I want it ultimately to come back to command. So how do you do that? You go back to that opportunity. And in documents, you'll see that you can add a file from Docusign. It will automatically, again, connect to your room. So it'll show you every document in that room. If you don't want to do it one by one, or you did all of them at the same time, right? You can attach multiple files from Docusign, and it will give you every single file that you have in that room, and you can attach it to every single placeholder we have. Again, placeholders are for individual documents, so you're still attaching every document individually. But you have the ability to do it all at once versus trying to go in and do it one by one.
So every time someone signs a document, you got to move it to command.
Yes.
Do you guys go to Docusign to see any of this stuff?
No.
It has to be in command for you to view it.
Has to be in command. The only reason I'm going into Docusign to look at anything is to help you
Right.
on a one-on-one basis to
Yeah.
get through something. I am not going into rooms to review anything. Yeah, Brandon.
If you edit a document, after it's signed, you put it in command, then everybody decides to change everything and all the signatures come off of it and you change something and re-sign it, do I have to re-upload it to Command?
You have to replace it in Command.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we,
Matt?
Show me how to do the, you said you can do a whole bunch at once.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to do it, and it once you click one and then click another, other one stops.
Okay.
It's not letting me do multiple, so maybe I'm doing something else.
Sure. So let me go to under contract, and you're going to attach multiple files. And then you're going to pick where the file needs to go. So, well, first off, you have to pick the Docusign connection. It'll pick every single document in that room. So then you just go through and start assigning things to where they need to go. And you click attach. Once you've attached everything, it is really important that you submit it to the MCA. Once you've submitted everything, you do not have to resubmit every single time. There is only one submission. So that's really great for y'all. Less work, right? Again, if something changes though, in the meantime, you have the ability to go in and replace at any time, whether we've reviewed it or not yet. Okay. So I'm going to go through two quick little things. If you need to void or cancel or correct an envelope that you sent out. So I'm going to do a quick form. If I was to do a pre-tagged role, it automatically knows where buyer 1, buyer 2, buyer broker, seller 1, seller 2, listing broker needs to sign. All you have to do is assign the person. And if you use them in the room before, their email address and information will exist there. So I could assign Bianca as buyer 1. I'll say add selected. Again, email message, you can go to next. This is where you can preview everything before you sign or before you send it. And you'll notice that automatically it has Bianca attached as yellow box. And it already has exactly where she will need to sign and date. So I'm going to click send, and it's going to send off. But I just realized that I made a horrible mistake and I put in the wrong sales price. And I don't want her to sign that. So on the envelope, where it says waiting for others, you can right click and hit correct or void. Before they sign it, before they get into it, you have the ability to correct or void any envelope. If you have this going in a sequence, if you void the envelope on the first person, the second, third, and fourth, and whoever will not see this document at all. If you void it after somebody has already signed, or in the process of signing it, they'll then receive an additional email saying, hey, this envelope has been voided. It no longer is valid. You can't sign it. But you do have the ability to correct it. Again, just by clicking into it and doing any corrections that you need to be made.
What if they've already signed it and then you realize
Yeah, so if they've already signed it, it's too late.
you have to do the whole process?
You can okay, so here's the fun part about Docusign. Let me go back for a second. In that documents page, you still have the original form that you sent out, the original template. So if for whatever reason they've signed it, it's a done deal, you can go back to the original form, edit it, and then send a new envelope.
How do we know that the old one then is voided?
How do you know if an envelope is voided? If you go to envelope, and this one has not been signed.
But if it was signed, we can still void that one, but then send a new.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, once an envelope is voided, it's dead.
And
You
it
have-
doesn't it send an email to the person who's supposed to sign that it's been voided?
Yes.
And then you just send the right one.
Correct.
If someone's got that sequence thing in there, and they have your email address and your client's email address, that gets kind of dicey.
Why would they have your client's email address?
Well, let's just say that you're in a counteroffer situation, and so you.
Nope. You're the only one that's going to have
Yeah,
your client's
okay.
information. They're going to have their client information.
So it's not going to go bounce to that 1, 2, 3, 4 thing.
No. But you can assign it to the listing agent, and then the listing agent you can give a permission to.
Okay.
So let me go back in. Let me add a recipient. And you can say,
Receives a copy.
there's a way to send it to the listing agent to where they can send it on to the next. I'll have to find out that exact information, but there is a way.
So it's not like with dot loop where somebody sends you an offer and it just shows up in your dot loop and you're like, send me a PDF, please.
No.
I don't want your dot loop file.
It's not.
Is there a printout of what each tab is for somewhere that we can find?
Yes. Let me finish up, and then my last slide is all the help that you can get for all of this. So, everybody has been asking me, how do I create a template to use over and over again, because that's the feature I really loved in .loop. So to create a template, you're in your room, right? You then go to your initials on the top right or your picture, whatever's there, and you will see a switch to e-signature. Going to switching to e-signature, you have the ability to create templates from here. So going into templates, and starting a new template by creating or uploading that document. So as of right now, we do not have the access to create, to create a GAR template. You have to download the document and then re-upload it. There's going to be another button where you could go straight to GAR forms and add one in. It just doesn't exist yet. So for the moment, if you wanted to do a GAR template, add the document, download it, and then just re-upload it here. In creating a template, yes, Drew, you will have to fill out all the little boxes. One time, once. This is a setup. This is a setup for templates moving forward. However, seller's disclosure, we know, has a lot of different fields in it, and the office has already decided that we will create that template for y'all. So that will be in the shared file until Docusign has their ability to move it. So, creating a template name, you can name it whatever you'd like. You can upload it from your desktop.
Thank you.
You can then assign roles. So, if you noticed in the previous file where we're looking at envelopes, where the roles were pre-assigned, they were pre-assigned buyer 1, 1 spelled out, buyer 2, 2 spelled out, so on and so on. So if you wanted to assign a specific role in your templates, you would need to name it buyer 1. You don't have to give it a name unless specifically sending to only one person, which I can't imagine why, and then an email address. Again, not going to do that. So we're going to go to next, and it's going to pull up that document, and from here, I'm going to add a signature space right here that's assigned to buyer 1 every single time. So when I go pull this template, it already has a pre-assigned role for whoever I choose as buyer 1. Does that make sense? Did I go too fast? Okay. So saving and closing, this will then create that template and it will live in your My Templates.
When you upload it, was that a PDF?
It was a PDF. It's always going to be a PDF. Nina?
So when you create this one document template, I see the little tag for folders and you can do that same thing we did in Docusign.
That's okay. Keep saying Docusign.
Yeah, where we make a folder saying buyer folder.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can create your own folders for your own templates. So if there's a listing, buyer, lease, whatever. Yes, you're the only one who will see the access to all of these. This is for you specifically.
And can you, in that folder, can you click all the documents in there? You know.
This is not where you're putting, this is not where you're grabbing documents. This is where you're creating templates. Again, everything lives where?
Command.
In Command, and you're using Docusign, instead of a loop, you're using a room. So from your room is where you would grab those documents. Just like you did in .loop. From the loop, you grabbed them from the templates. Same kind of deal. Again, very, very similar, nothing terribly different.
Can you show us how you got there?
Yep, I can go back. All right, so I'm in the room. You go to your profile and you click switch to e-signature. Going to e-signature allows you to go to templates. From here, this is your template folders. You can also see everything that's been shared with you. This includes the office docs. If there's anything that you would like to see in the office docs, please let me know. I'm happy to accommodate as needed. We are still adding more and more forms. Sammy.
So if a buyer's agent sends you multiple forms or an email, how would you merge them all into one big document on Docusign?
How would you merge them all into one? Why are we merging them all?
Well, you're sending your seller a purchase and sale agreement.
Uh-huh.
So you want all the docs together in one big document, right?
Right.
As your,
So how do you get those documents into a room?
you upload them, right?
Right.
Sure.
And how do you send those documents to a client?
Envelope, right?
You can send multiple documents.
So will they all appear as your seller?
They'll all appear as one
But
if
which-
you're sending multiples.
Can you drag and drop from your email into Command or into a
No,
DocuSign?
you cannot drag
So
and
you
drop.
have to download them, save them if they did each purchase and sale, conventional financing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
If they do each one individually, you have to download them all, save them, and then can you just select them all and upload them?
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Any other questions about DocuSign?
Can we download? Can we download it? You know, on Dotloop, you could take everything, like every piece, and then it would download into one PDF. Can you do that?
Can you take everything and
Because like if you
download it?
had your
select
purchase
multiple
and sale
files.
exhibit A, exhibit B, if you clicked them all and hit download, it would make them all one PDF in a row.
I believe you can select all in a room and download.
Because you could do that on Docusign, right?
You can do it on.
You select all of them in a certain order, and you download them, and they're all in that order. You get them, right?
Right. So you have the same ability. Select all, download.
And
Yeah.
can you set up like I had set up like libraries, like so for a buyer, I knew I'd have the purchase and sale, and all that stuff.
Sure.
Is there
So
a
are
way
you
to
trying
set
to
that
create
up?
a buyer template?
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna say, she just explained it.
Yeah. So it's in the templates. It's in that folder. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So here's what we covered today, just so I'm clear. In Dotloop, you created a room. In DocuSign, a loop. Oh shoot. And in DocuSign, you created a room. In Dotloop, you could add and manage documents in a loop. And in DocuSign, you add and manage documents in a room. In Dotloop, you could add people to a loop. And in DocuSign, you can add people to a room. Dotloop, you can prepare documents, templates, and in DocuSign, you can create templates. You share documents to get e-signatures in Dotloop, and you create and send envelopes in DocuSign to send out for e-signatures. Everything is almost exactly the same, just different terminology. I know it's a little more confusing to navigate, but you just take your time and put the pieces together. Drew,
Is there the equivalent of a folder within?
is there
room.
equivalent of a folder?
Of a folder within
Why
a
would you
room?
need a folder?
Because it was nice, like if we're
Where are the
Represent-
documents ultimately being stored?
ultimately into command, but it was nice to be able to work with them in a folder. Like if you had a listing and you were getting tons of offers, you could set up those folders really quick and easy.
Gotcha.
And that would be nice with this, if you could set it up into a folder where you can kind of keep track of it.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't have the ability to. Oh, yes, I do.
There
Under
you go.
actions, add a folder.
Add folder.
And so you could keep them in there unless you actually, go forward with it, put that in.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So I just created that listing folder. It's over here to the left.
Okay. Oh, that would be good.
Yep.
So you could just create multiple ones like Patty's offer,
Offers.
Drew's
Patty's
offer.
offer. So,
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yes.
Any other questions?
You might need the backup.
Erin.
Going back to the shared with me templates, like
Uh-huh.
I just logged in and I'm under the shared with me and I don't have any in there.
Okay.
Are they supposed to be in there?
They are.
Like, okay, the
Yeah.
office ones.
I'll double check the office ones.
Okay. And those are going to be like wire fraud, all of those internal type docs.
All of the office documents that we had, that whole folder, all I'm doing is moving them.
Cool.
It's going to be the exact same form. Anything else?
Do you have any general timing estimate when the GAR forms will be available for the templates?
cigar forms, we finally got them. That was my one big hurdle so far. That will be next one.
When will .loop stop working?
We do not have a definite date.
Got it.
We are going to give you a 90-day notice.
Got it.
With that being said, what I have heard through the grapevine is that you will still have access to your loops. However, the office will not. So we are in the process of downloading every single loop ever created.
And that will be put in demand or in command.
It's going to be put into a cloud zip kind of file, offsite storage.
Gotcha. So like if a client from 3 years ago calls and is like, hey,
We'll
can you
still
send me
have
the
access to
settlement
it.
statement?
Yeah, we'll still have access to it. It's just going to go a different
Can we
place.
transfer those into command? Or do you have to download every single thing separately and then?
You can transfer them into command. Remember, there's still that connection setting between .loop and command.
You just have to make sure your people are already in command.
I would advise that you do save a copy of your own loops to either a drive or Dropbox. Dropbox has, I think, a little more storage than a drive, but one or the other. Any other questions? Okay. So, go back. All right. We covered that. Covered all the how-tos. So your help resources. So I'd like you to write these down because I did not give you handouts for a reason. Trying to conserve paper. And all of these exact instructions, step by step, are on your KW intranet. So if you don't know how to get to the intranet link on your KW website,
Why don't you make it? Go ahead.
I'll come back. I just want to show everybody where links is because I get this question a lot. It's links in intranet, and we have the Docusign instructions in a drop file. Everybody got the picture? Okay. We have answers.kw.com, which is exactly where I pulled all of these instructions to teach today, step by step. We have our Market Center Technology ambassadors, Chris Yates in the corner being one of them, myself, Alexis Werner, and a couple other people. Oh, and Erin Brockman. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? And then last but not least, we have KW support. Again, you can do a chat or you can call them. However, their wait times are a bit lengthy at this point.
Yes.
So you have multiple resources, ways to go. Real quick, go into KW Answers. Everybody get everything? Okay. This is what KW Answers looks like. It literally has answers to every single different piece. So if it's not Docusign, if it's Command, if it's the Commissions tab, if it's the Marketplace, whatever it might be, try going here and you might find your answer. If not, give us a call. Do I have anything else? Did I cover everything? Okay, good. How confident do we feel going forward? Much better? Can we, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you all so much for coming, taking an hour of your day. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Let's do it again.
Okay, quick question. I wanted to be able to have, office.
How do I design it?